My name is Paul. We just moved here a year ago, so I have two kids in Bolton Primary, one in AC Creek Middle School, going on to high school next school year. I'm here to talk about the topic of make you think about a little bit about grants possibilities for the school. This section is all about increasing the revenue side of things, right? Can you get the slides up? Okay. Before I get into that, maybe I'll give you a little bit of background by myself. My profession is electrical engineering, so I'm on the scientific side. And my previous job, I had to work with a government-funded. I was working in government-funded projects for a defense contractor. So there are tons of grant or government, especially federal government, is a very big entity, and they have all kinds of programs. And if you don't seek them out, then you may not ever hear about them. And it's not like you just get junk mail in the mailbox and they would try to solicit. It's not like they solicit your donation, that kind of thing. So you kind of have to actively seek out and spend effort to apply and do the paperwork, and maybe even write a proposal, that kind of thing, to be able to win these grants. A lot of them are very competitive, so it's not like you just apply and then you always will get it. You know, success rate might be, if 50% success rate will be a really good success rate. So let's look at some of the examples. Here's just some sampler, some quick search. You can find out there's probably a lot more grants out there that's possible. But just from federal, you have these few types of grants. Like you can have grants to help you set up a magnet school for specific topics. Like, okay, if it's like a science and engineering specific school, or like a arts, like performance arts type of school, you can have a setup, and then have even like within and beyond your district, you can have students come and increase the enrollment and have those funding source. A second one would be a full service community school. This is an idea where you have a school building, but you have you increase the type of users. You can utilize the building in other ways, like you can have office space, or you can lease it out to doctors or some kind of related services. It could be maybe childcare, or it could be like special education type of counselors, right? Different types of services can be offered at the school ground. So this will be a kind of a grant to subsidize or to help set up that type of facility. And those facilities will also generate revenue for the school district as well. And then you can go to the next slide. So there's other ones. So besides federal, we have state grants, not as high dollar amount, but definitely there are some opportunities. There's summer learning, summer schools, energy efficient school programs will be things that will have to do with the buildings and facilities. We talk about maintenance and upgrading things like boilers and roof and energy, windows and energy efficiency type of programs that can be, you can apply for grants and to help pay for some of those upgrades. Let's see the next slide. Okay, preschool, yeah, so there's preschool grants that is designed to help set up a preschool type of programs. A lot of school districts don't have preschool programs or don't have the funds to do so. So this is one of those things where the government will help subsidize some of those programs if the school district were to set up something like that across the school district. Yeah, and I think there's been talks about setting up preschool programs, like childcare programs like that. Next slide, please. Historic building grants, so there's some kind of outside of the box kind of idea. So if we have certain school buildings that are able to get designated as a historic building, then you can open up to these different types of grants that is designed to help with preservation, maintenance, and also basically subsidizing keeping the building operational. So there are some opportunities like that. Let's go to the next slide. And then there are other ones. So there's one that I think is quite interesting from my perspective is the Direct Pay. This is from the recently passed Inflation Reduction Act. So IRA is not the retirement account. And so this is a thing where usually for businesses that pay taxes, you can qualify for energy credit, basically tax credits, just like for your home as well. You can get tax credits for energy efficiency improvements. But this is for businesses and maybe like utility companies. But then recently with the Inflation Reduction Act, they changed the rule such that even for entities don't pay tax, such as school districts or other nonprofit organizations, you can apply and get money as if you had tax liability. So you can actually get money for doing various types of energy efficiency retrofitting, like things like geothermal energy, solar panels, things like that. So I can think of, if a school wants to renovate the parking lot or things like that, you can even consider putting in things like carports, like basically covered areas, and put solar panels, and you can have money, partially paid for using this kind of federal programs. So there's probably a lot more that we don't know about, and it would definitely need somebody, I don't know, part-time, at least part-time, to spend the time to look into it and understand all the requirements, because every grant program comes with their own requirements and eligibility and paperwork. So it's definitely not free lunch. So somebody has to spend some effort to look into the basically cost and benefit analysis to say, okay, this grant maybe it's like a 100K type of grant. How much effort should we spend to try to go after that, given like some kind of estimated success rate? So things like that should be a part of the things that we think about as ways to increase the funding source. Thank you.